Hey guys, it's Jalen. Welcome or welcome back. Today I'm here to share with you my update for my Pan That Palette project. I'm working on one dedicated Pan That palette, which is for the Pantastic Ladies collab theme for this year, which is fun sized. And that was created by Jackie Lutens. And I'm also working on two baby Pan That palettes. And I have a fourth palette that I use when I feel like I need some additional shadows as my Better Together palette, which is a project that Paula over at A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It started this year, and it's also part of the Pantastic Ladies. So I'm going to share with you the palettes I'm working on. The first one, and I don't want to show you I don't want to spoil it. My Natasha Denona Mini Love palette is my Pan That palette for this year for fun sized. I'm also working on the Pat McGrath Midnight Voyage palette as my baby Pan That palette, and the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Luxury palette. And then as my Better Together collaboration palette, I am working on the Natasha Denona Lila palette. So I'm going to start with the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. Let me show you what this palette looked like last month. And this is how my palette is looking now. Yay! So I did have pan in all four of these shades last month, but you can probably tell from the picture that I have posted here that all of these pans have expanded quite a bit. I think this one's probably the most glaring expansion. This one is also, I've used quite a bit of this one, and I'm starting to see wear around the sides as well. And I've expanded this one kind of down towards the corner. And I think I've used this last shade just a couple of times, really because it's so similar to this one on the eye that I kind of find them interchangeable. But that is how things are looking with this palette. I'm super excited with the progress here. Now, I do have these two shades, the two mattes on my eyes today. Actually, all four of these shades are on my eyes today. Whoops, from here to here. I have all four of those shades on my eyes. And then I think I have one other shadow in my crease and another shadow in my inner corner. But this is a really nice everyday palette. I really do enjoy it for that. And I just realized my nails look a hot mess. I'm so sorry. I meant to paint them, and then I was like, I forgot. So now let's talk about weights for this palette. When I rolled this palette in at the beginning of the year, it weighed 47.8 grams. Last month it weighed 46.2, which at that point I had lost a total of 1.6 grams, and now it's at 45.8. So I've used another 0.4 grams from as I did the same in March. Again, in April, I did 0.4 grams. So far I've used a total of 2 grams out of this palette. Now this, according to the packaging, has a total of 4 grams of shadow. So apparently I'm halfway there, but I think there's more than 4 grams of shadow in here. So we'll see. I'll continue to keep weights. Very excited with my progress there. Now, the next one I'm going to share with you is my baby Pan That palette. The next two are my baby Pan That palettes. The first one is the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Quad in Pillow Talk, if I can talk. And I really did not use this palette very much in the last month. I think I used this matte shade a bit here and there. I didn't even show you what this looked like last month. I'll show a picture up here. It's fine. There's only one shadow that I'm working on right now, and it's this one. I may have used this shade as a lid shade once or twice, but I don't think it was very... if I did, I'd be surprised, to be honest. So anyway, this one weighed 50.6 grams when I started at the beginning of the year. It now weighs 50 grams. So overall, I've lost a total of 0.6 grams. Since the last month, I've lost 0.1 grams. So I didn't really use this palette very much. It's just kind of I eventually want to finish it, but it's not really a priority right now. This one I think I've had more progress on, the Pat McGrath Midnight Voyage palette. So I'll show you what this looked like last month. And this is what the palette looks like now. So I did have Pan in the purple shimmer last month, but as you can probably tell, I have expanded that a bit. I think where I've made the most impact this month is with this matte shade, and it's not by using it on my eyes. So I think this matte shade is actually a really good match for my hair. When it's time for me to do a color, normally I would use, this is broken, but I have this Madison Reed Root Touch-Up Powder, but as you can see, it's almost done. So I need to repress this. So, I'm having trouble like getting the corners here. And this is actually not the best match for my hair. So I was like, wait a minute, this has a purple hue. I do have like a violet, what do they call it? There's just some drops that I use in my color to add some vibrant violet tones to my hair. And so this actually matches my hair perfectly. And so when I have roots from needing to color my hair, because I've got a lot of gray, you guys. I've got a lot of gray. You've probably noticed I have a lot of gray. So when it's time for me to color and I just need a root touch up, I used this powder a lot last month and it worked perfectly. So that's probably how I'll use it again, or use it over the next, like during the year. Because I also have this dark matte shadow in the Natasha Denona palette. And this one I think is a little bit too light for my hair. But let me just compare and contrast. I don't think I've done that. I mean, I I've swatched both of these, but yeah, you can kind of see the difference. So this is Natasha Denona, this is the Pat McGrath. So this one, like the Natasha Denona, I used on my outer corner today, and then this one you can see how much darker it is. I do use this in the outer corner of my eye looks, but I'm focusing on this palette, so I'm trying to get use on that shade, and then I can use that Pat McGrath deep shade in my hair when I need to. I thought I was gonna film this video yesterday. I am a bit late on this because I'm late on a couple of projects. So I did end up using like this shade and this shade yesterday, and I think this shade as well. I did more of a neutral look versus kind of a rosy look like I did today. But yeah, this is a really nice palette. Now, for weights, last month, okay, at the beginning of the year, this weighed 45.7 grams. Last month it weighed 44.9, and this month it weighs 44.5. So I've used a total of 0.4 grams from this palette and a total of 1.2 grams. I'm ahead of schedule on this one too, because according to the packaging, this has 3 grams of shadow. So what I decided to do is to calculate my total use out of these 3 palettes, my Pan That palette and my 2 mini palettes, and not include the weight of this one because this one's gone, like, it's fluctuated so much up and down. In fact, I'm just going to stop weighing that one. But anyway, so far, by using these 3 palettes throughout the year, I've used a total of 3.8 grams for the year. In April, it was a total of 0.9 grams. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's about 1 gram of shadow, which is a lot. It's a lot of shadow. That's about like an entire pan of shadow, typically. Right? I think that's right. Anyway. All right, and the last palette, again, is the Natasha Denona Lila palette. I honestly don't think I touched this very much this past month. I want to say I used this shade, maybe this shade, but I don't think I touched the mattes at all. I just haven't needed to reach for this. Once I start needing to like fill gaps, I'll pull this out. I've also had other palettes that are in projects for a usage goal or like no pan left behind. So I've been trying to roll those out I focused on those a bit last month because I needed to get my uses on them and kind of roll them get them off my vanity. So I think once I'm kind of down to really just these palettes, then I'll be able to focus a bit more on the Lila. Anyway, that is my update for this month. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you're doing well and staying safe. Please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.